Turkey, situated at the junction of Europe and Asia, boasts a deep cultural heritage and extensive history. From a miraculous plant to thousand-year-old baby mummies, here are 20 shocking recent discoveries in Turkey. Number 20. A miracle plant. The Roman Empire was a civilization that was unlike any other. Just like the ancient Egyptians, they were known for being one of the most influential and advanced civilizations of their time. Despite leaving many marks in history, we haven't come close to uncovering everything there is about the civilization. One of the most intriguing things that captured the interest of researchers was a Roman miracle plant that was used thousands of years ago. Experts believe that the Romans consumed this plant to extinction, making it something lost in the annals of Roman history. However, in 2022, researchers in Turkey claimed that they had once again discovered this miracle plant and found unprecedented information about it. This wonder, known as silphium, was used by the Romans as a cure-all medicine. Silphium was the answer for various ailments at the time, from nausea and chills to fever. It was even used as an herbal birth control. With its widespread use, researchers believe that the Romans consumed silphium so much that it became extinct. If somehow this plant still exists today, researchers will get the chance to study it. The first silphium was allegedly rediscovered in several regions in Turkey in 1983. It wasn't until later, however, that scientists noticed the yellow plant similarities to the illustrations and records left behind by the Romans. Now here's where it gets interesting. Researchers were thoroughly impressed after analyzing silphium. It turned out that this plant is a chemical gold mine. It's filled with 30 secondary metabolites, which are substances that break down food. However, they're not ordinary. Many have cancer-fighting, contraceptive, and anti-inflammatory properties. Perhaps silphium will be a miracle plant once again, and with the scientific knowledge we have today, we might be able to take advantage of its properties and utilize it. Number 19. 1800-year-old Roman gladiator arena. Thousands of years ago, people gathered in the ancient town of Mastora, located in western Turkey, to watch several men fight to the death. You wouldn't imagine that there was a massive amphitheater in this region, but scientists just discovered where gladiators fought in Turkey a long time ago. This magnificent amphitheater, believed to date back to around 200 AD during the reign of the Severan dynasty, could accommodate over 20,000 enthusiastic spectators. Can you imagine the roar of the crowd? It was a time when this region was flourishing and basking in its growing wealth and status. Experts believe that this very arena was once the stage for brutal gladiatorial matches, where fearless men faced off against wild animals and fought to the death. This amphitheater remained hidden and concealed for centuries, covered by overgrown vegetation and trees. But thanks to 200-year-old records of the region, this Colosseum-like arena was brought to light again. More than 1,800 years ago, people from neighboring cities would flock to the town of Mastora to witness the epic events that unfolded within these very walls. But now it's reduced to rubble, slowly being reclaimed by nature itself. Number 18. Grave in the middle of the street. Graves are usually considered important and sacred places for the dead. It's where their earthly bodies remain and slowly decompose. So, it's unusual to see a grave in the middle of the street. I have one word. Why? I'm pretty sure everyone who comes across this grave in Turkey scratches their head in disbelief or does a double take. I mean, the last thing you'd expect to see in the middle of a pavement, albeit poorly, is a grave with a massive tombstone. But that's precisely what you'll see if you drive through the city of Shivas in Turkey, particularly in the new Sirkali district. When people built the Sirkali district, the residents made sure to build around the gravestone. Although they don't have the slightest idea as to who was interred in it, the people in the area respect it. The tombstone has the inscription Gariban Marchi Baba, but locals have no idea who this actually is. Some believe that the area around the grave was once someone's yard, and during renovations, workers found it fitting to leave the grave instead of demolishing it. And so, this grave remains right in the middle of the road. Number 17. From a barren hill to a thriving forest. I don't know about you, but while I believe everyone on Earth has their purpose, I think that some people have greater responsibilities and callings than most, just like the life of Hikmet Kaya, a retired forest technician from Turkey. In 2022, the entire world was amazed by the perseverance and passion of this man. After all, he's one of the few who can turn a barren wasteland into a flourishing green oasis with millions of trees. In 1978, Hikmet Kaya took on the role of head of afforestation at the Boyabat Forestry Operations Department in Sinop's Boyabat district. He had but one vision in mind. His mission was to transform a desolate hill overlooking Sinop into a vibrant green oasis. We're talking about a place that was as barren as a desert. For 24 years, Hikmet Kaya dedicated himself to this massive afforestation project. He rolled up his sleeves and got to work planting over 25 million saplings in the steppe areas of Boyabat. That's right, 25 million. Can you imagine the sheer dedication and determination it took to achieve this incredible feat? Now, Hikmet Kaya didn't do this all on his own. He knew that teamwork makes the dream work, so he gathered specialized teams and enlisted the help of the local community. It became a collective effort to transform this barren land into a paradise for humans and animals. Hikmet Kaya retired in 2002, but to this day, his legacy remains, and the forest he created with his bare hands will last for centuries. Number 16. Thousand-year-old cat and baby mummies. The ancient Egyptian civilization wasn't the only one that mummified the dead. The mummies in the Aksaray Museum in Turkey will give you an idea about the significance of mummification to the people residing in the Turkish region thousands of years ago. This museum contains 13 mummies dating back from the 10th to the 12th century. Some were even discovered in the famous Salara Valley, also known as the Valley of Mummies, and the Kanli Church site. While Egypt may be the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about mummies, the practice was quite widespread in different parts of the ancient world, including the Aksaray region. Preserving and mummifying the deceased's body was considered an art form not only in the land of the pharaohs but in other parts of the world as well. However, the way people in Aksaray mummified their dead was completely different. Once a person passed away, their internal organs were removed, and then the body was covered with melted wax and glazed. After that, it was wrapped in a fabric shroud before being buried in the ground. The corpses would dry out and stay remarkably preserved for centuries. Among the mummies left behind by the people of Aksaray were the mummified remains of several babies and, strangely, the mummified remains of a cat. I guess mummification wasn't the only thing the people of Aksaray had in common with ancient Egyptians. They also had an extreme love for cats. Number 15. Ancient fertility complex. Sometimes archaeologists and scientists aren't the first ones to discover artifacts at historical sites. In 2017, looters were the ones who stumbled upon an ancient fertility complex in Basbuk, Turkey. These looters unknowingly uncovered an ancient fertility complex hidden beneath a local house. Luckily, the word got out, and the looters' discovery caught the attention of archaeologists from a local museum. The archaeologists wasted no time and immediately began their investigation. They found a narrow opening that led them to a sprawling underground chamber carved out of limestone. This chamber was an impressive 98 feet in length. The complex also included a long descending staircase leading to a gallery. Over time, erosion filled these subterranean spaces with sediment. However, the wall panels that adorn the complex are visible today. Archaeologists discovered a series of captivating images believed to be the work of a fertility cult from the 1st millennium BCE. These stunning carvings depict gods and goddesses intricately etched into the rock wall. This discovery shed light on an intriguing aspect of history. It revealed that during the early phase of Neo-Assyrian control in the region, there was a symbiotic relationship between the Assyrians and the Arameans. However, this relationship changed over time, which most likely caused this complex to be abandoned later. Even so, this discovery allows us a brief glimpse into the dynamics of people in the region thousands of years ago. Number 14. Massive holes in Turkey's farmlands. Let's take a break from archaeological discoveries because here's a pretty horrifying find in the country. Massive holes slowly swallowing up Turkey's farmlands. Konya province, known as Turkey's breadbasket or green silo, has always been an agricultural powerhouse. Its vast fields of wheat stretch as far as the eye can see, making it a vital center for farming. However, in recent years, farmers in the area have faced an unexpected challenge due to persistent drought, the alarming increase in sinkholes. And let me tell you, it's a problem that keeps getting worse. You see, as farmers rely more and more on groundwater to sustain their crops during the drought, the once water-filled underground cavities begin to collapse under the weight of the soil above. The result? Enormous sinkholes that can be tens of feet across and over 500 feet deep. It's a startling sight and a clear indication of the detrimental effects of uncontrolled groundwater irrigation. Local experts suggest that sinkholes have only become a noticeable issue in the past 10 to 15 years, but the root cause can be traced back to the 1970s. That's when unregulated groundwater irrigation practices began in the region, and unfortunately, these practices persist today. The worsening drought conditions year after year and the high cost of accessing alternative water sources have led farmers to continue relying on groundwater, exacerbating the problem even further. Currently, there are around 660 documented sinkholes in Konya province, nearly double the number counted the previous year. While these sinkholes haven't caused any human casualties so far, they're encroaching on human settlements. The unpredictable nature of their occurrence poses a significant risk, as scientists cannot predict when or where the next sinkhole will form. It's a situation that calls for serious attention and preventative measures to avoid potential loss of life. Number 13. Roman-era bone workshops. In 2021, archaeologists in Turkey discovered a workshop used by the region's artisans during the Roman era. The discovery was made in the ancient Greek city of Izanoi in western Turkey. Izanoi has long been recognized as a site of immense archaeological significance, and recent excavations have only added to its reputation. Imagine unearthing a bone workshop and an intact oil lamp shop within the city's former agora. The bone workshop revealed a range of tools, giving us a glimpse into the craftsmanship and techniques employed by the artisans of Izanoi. Can you imagine the skill required to fashion intricate objects from bones? The excavation also revealed an intact oil lamp shop, complete with lamps that have stood the test of time. These lamps provide a window into the daily lives of the people of Izanoi, casting light on their use of illumination during the Roman era. What's truly significant about these findings is that they demonstrate the local production activities that took place in Izanoi during the Roman era. It's evidence that this ancient city was not just a center of trade and commerce, but also a hub of skilled artisans and manufacturing. Number 12. Underground city. This massive underground city is one of the most astounding discoveries in Turkey, not only because of its sheer brilliance, but also because it was something experts found out of sheer luck. In the town of Midyat, archaeologists accidentally stumbled upon this massive underground city while exploring. This extraordinary underground city, named Meşiyet, was actually found by complete accident. With a complex network of tunnels and an astonishing 49 rooms discovered so far, Meşiyet is a true marvel. Experts uncovered artifacts as they descended into the subterranean complex, and they believe that this underground city is more than 1,900 years old, possibly dating back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Historians estimate that the area uncovered so far is only a tiny fraction, about 3%, of the entire underground city. To put it in perspective, the town of Midyat itself has a rich history dating back to the time of the Assyrian Empire in 900 BCE. It has seen the rise and fall of various civilizations, from the Arameans and Persians to the Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans. And beneath this vibrant town lies an entirely different world, a vast underground city that has remained untouched for nearly 2,000 years. Experts claim that this underground city once housed more than 70,000 people. Can you imagine what life was like for these people? Number 11. World's oldest swords. Earlier this year, incredible swords were discovered in the ancient site of Arslan Tepe, Turkey, dating back to the early Bronze Age. The swords were estimated to be around 5,000 years old. They were discovered as part of a cache of 9 swords and daggers at the renowned Arslan Tepe mound. Initially, the arsenic copper swords were unearthed during excavations in the 1980s at a mud-brick palace structure within the Arslan Tepe mound. The cache consists of 9 swords and daggers ranging from 7.7 to 23.6 inches long. What makes them even more fascinating is their intricate decorative silver inlays. These stunning embellishments suggest that these swords were either wielded by high-status individuals or acted as ceremonial weapons. Number 10. The Titus Tunnel. One could say that the Titus Tunnel is one of the most magnificent archaeological sites in Turkey. This tunnel, recognized by UNESCO as one of the most magnificent Roman remains, was built to divert floodwaters that threatened the harbor near Seleucia Pieria. This tunnel has stood the test of time for over 2,000 years now. Despite its name, this tunnel wasn't actually built or completed by Emperor Titus, but rather during the reign of his father, Emperor Vespasian, in the latter half of the 1st century AD. Although construction continued during Titus's reign, it was ultimately completed under the control of Emperor Antoninus Pius in the 2nd century AD. We know these dates thanks to several rock-carved inscriptions discovered within the tunnel. The inscriptions inside the tunnel also provide us with information about the construction of the tunnel. Furthermore, this revealed that the region where the tunnel was located was part of the center of trade, culture, and power at the time. Number 9. Mysterious trepanned holes. Have you ever wondered how our ancestors discovered the wonders of performing surgery? In ancient times, surgery was done with basic instruments, and the likelihood of a single operation being successful was lower due to the limited scientific knowledge available at that time. However, there's one intriguing practice that was done a long time ago: psychosurgery, particularly trepanation. Also known as trepanning, simply put, this procedure involves drilling or cutting a hole in someone's skull. Success was achieved when a surgeon carefully removed a section of skull bone from a living person without harming the surrounding soft tissues. You see, trepanation has a long history that spans various ancient civilizations. It was practiced in different parts of the world, including ancient Egypt, Greece, and even pre-Columbian America. In 2022, researchers identified 40 trepanned individuals from 23 different ancient settlements in Turkey. However, the mystery lies in the individuals responsible for trepanning the skulls. Experts couldn't tell whether it was the work of magicians or ancient doctors. After all, trepanation wasn't solely limited to medical purposes. It also had cultural and spiritual significance in many societies. Some ancient cultures believed that by creating a hole in the skull, they could access higher states of consciousness or communicate with the spirit world. It's truly fascinating how medical practices are intertwined with the beliefs and rituals of our ancestors. Fortunately, trepanation is an outdated surgery that's no longer done today. Number 8. Flesh-eating sarcophagi. Several sarcophagi discovered in Turkey stumped scientists in 2022 because of their bizarre and borderline supernatural properties. Within the necropolis of Assos, these stone sarcophagi had a rather unusual trait. They could decompose bodies incredibly fast. Instead of the typical 50 to 200 years it takes for bodies to disintegrate, it happened in just 40 days. That's right, they became known as the meat-eaters or flesh-eaters in Greek. The first flesh-eating sarcophagi appeared in Assos necropolis around the 5th century BC. They were simple coffins made of andesite stone, featuring a flat cover on top. Over time, as the Roman era dawned, the sarcophagi became more ornate and intricate in their design. Interestingly, these unique sarcophagi seem to be recognized early on for their extraordinary characteristics. They were highly sought after and widely traded from the harbor of Assos, reaching as far as Rome and Egypt. Scientists are still trying to fully understand what properties of the stone caused such rapid decomposition of the bodies placed within. It's a mystery that continues to baffle researchers. Number 7. Cast iron church. At first glance, this church appears to be an Orthodox stone church with intricate ornaments. However, this church, located in Istanbul, Turkey, is actually a cast iron church. Considered the largest prefabricated cast iron building in the world, the St. Stephen Church is one of the most impressive feats of engineering that continues to impress researchers to this day. Number 6. Ancient Tomb of the Bird Oracle. An ancient tomb was discovered in the ancient city of Pergamon, Turkey, and it's one of the strangest archaeological finds, the tomb of a figure known as Marcus, the bird oracle priest. Recent investigations have revealed that Marcus used the behavior of birds, such as their flight patterns and songs, as a means of divination, offering glimpses into the future. This practice of bird oracles was quite common in the Hellenistic times of Pergamon. It's intriguing to think about the role of bird oracles in the ancient world, and how they sought guidance and foresight through the natural behaviors of these avian creatures. Pergamon itself is a place brimming with history. In the Book of Revelation, Pergamon is listed as one of the locations of the 7 churches of Revelation, also known as the 7 churches of Asia. The city is referred to as the location of Satan's seat in one of the passages. The tomb of Marcus was discovered within the Asclepian healing temple in Pergamon. This temple was dedicated to Asclepius, a demigod and the son of Apollo, who was regarded as the first doctor in Greek mythology. Researchers exploring the necropolis-like burial site made an intriguing discovery. An andesite block with an inscription revealing that the tomb belonged to Marcus, son of Trophimus. Through their expertise in epigraphy and the study of inscriptions, experts learned that Marcus lived in the 2nd century AD and held the esteemed role of a bird oracle priest. Although the tomb provided information about Marcus, looters and tomb raiders had already bested archaeologists in reaching the tomb first. There's no doubt that many artifacts were stolen from this tomb, many of which could have revealed a lot about this bird religion. Number 5. Roman villa with a floor mosaic. In 2021, the remains of a Roman villa were unexpectedly discovered in the Defne district in Turkey during routine construction. Workers digging to lay the foundation of a new structure at the site of a demolished 8-story building stumbled upon something extraordinary, the remains of a Roman villa. The villa's ruins consist of broken-down walls that once formed part of this ancient structure, but the most fascinating aspect is the well-preserved floor mosaic boasting intricate geometric patterns. What makes Hatay province even more remarkable is its rich history and abundance of Roman artifacts. The region has been a treasure trove for archaeologists, unearthing many artifacts and architectural remains dating back to the Roman era. In fact, Hatay boasts the world's largest mosaic museum in terms of display area. Number 4. The final resting place of Medusa. Situated just 490 feet from the iconic Hagia Sophia, the Basilica Cistern is the largest among hundreds of ancient cisterns hidden beneath the city of Istanbul. Many believe that this cistern is the final resting place of Medusa. A cistern is a container, usually made of concrete, metal, or plastic, that collects and stores water and other liquids for later use, such as drinking or irrigation. This ancient cistern dates back to the 6th century AD, where it was constructed during the reign of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I. It's about 453 by 213 feet and can store 100,000 tons of water. Interestingly, this cistern is adorned with giant Gorgon Medusa heads, leading many to speculate that it could be the final resting place of Medusa. However, the question remains, can a mythical figure truly exist in reality? Who knows? Number 3. Oldest Christian church. In 2022, archaeologists in Turkey excavated the world's first church, or at least one of the very first hidden worship places worldwide. This significant finding occurred within chambers from the late Roman era, where fragments of smashed clay vessels used for holy water offerings were found. The roots of this ancient city, known as Antioch, trace back to around 300 BC when it was founded by Seleucus, one of Alexander the Great's successors. Antioch became part of the Seleucid Empire, a Greek state in West Asia during the Hellenistic period. It holds a special place in Christian history as it was here that the term Christian was coined to describe the followers of Jesus Christ. The recent excavation shed light on how the Romans worshipped at this revered holy site. The church, dedicated to St. Peter, the first pope, was originally built around 38 to 39 AD within a cave. Over time, it underwent expansion and renovation. The oldest surviving sections of the church, including captivating floor mosaics and traces of frescoes on the right side of the altar, can be traced back to the 4th or 5th century AD. Today, the dimensions of this holy site stand at approximately 31.16 feet wide, 42.65 feet long, and 22.96 feet high. It's incredible to imagine the ancient worship and religious practices that took place within these walls. Number 2. Stone-cut tombs. In 2021, archaeologists uncovered an astonishing sight, an array of 400 chamber tombs carved into the side of a nearby canyon. These tombs, dating back approximately 1,800 years, unveiled a hidden world of art and color concealed within the rugged Yusak canyons in western Turkey. Archaeologists discovered depictions of plants, animals, and mythological figures like Hermes and Medusa beautifully illustrated on the walls of these stone graves. However, not all the tombs have remained intact over the years. Grave robbers and local shepherds have caused some damage. Grave robbers have already raided the burials, stealing anything that could have given us information about what lay in the graves. As for the shepherds, they used the tombs as shelter and even set fires within the tomb walls, causing further destruction. Fortunately, modern science allowed researchers to do meticulous restorations to reveal what's lurking on the walls of these stone-cut tombs. Now it's time for today's topic. Turkey is a country brimming with wonders that remain undiscovered to this day. This leaves a lot of room for exploration and studies. In recent years, experts have grabbed the chance to uncover the most amazing findings in this country. What scientists found in Turkey has left people speechless. Experts claim that hidden stone settlements are scattered throughout the country. These rumored settlements have the potential to rewrite history books and challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations. What could these hidden stone settlements reveal? While it's all speculation at this point, imagine discovering an ancient civilization that predates established historical timelines. Number 1. Oldest stone tool. Scientists have recently unearthed the oldest recorded stone tool ever found in Turkey, revealing unprecedented stories about the history of humankind. This remarkable find indicates that humans migrated from Asia to Europe much earlier than previously believed, approximately 1.2 million years ago. The discovery of a humanly worked quartzite flake in the ancient deposits of the Gediz River, located within western Turkey, provides significant new insight into the early dispersion of humans outside of Africa and Asia. Meticulous analysis by researchers revealed the timing and route of early human dispersal into Europe. Through careful analysis, researchers established that early humans inhabited the region approximately 1.24 million to 1.17 million years ago. Prior to this discovery, the oldest hominin fossils in western Turkey were uncovered in 2007 in Kokabas, but their dating, as well as other stone tool finds, remained uncertain. This groundbreaking find not only pushes back the timeline of human presence in Turkey, but also provides valuable insights into our ancestors' migratory patterns and early interactions between different regions. Have you ever had the chance to visit Turkey before? How did your experience go? Let me know about it in the comments down below. And if you haven't been there yet, let me know if any of these discoveries compelled you to visit the country. Also, make sure to check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.